Hey Eurovision fans, today the second semi-final of Eurovision 2024 will be happening. I'm going to be giving you my updated qualifier predictions now that I've seen the dress rehearsals and the show within the press room. So let's kiki. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. Okay, so just to give a little bit of context, I've been in the press room, I've seen the show on the screen, and then I also watched the dress rehearsal where I sat in the arena and I could see the stage and I could also see the screen as well. So I've kind of seen the full shows. So I've seen the full shows now from everybody. So I'm just going to do a quick update on. So obviously I'm keeping Switzerland as a definite yes. Netherlands is also a definite yes as well to qualify. Definite yes for Armenia. And definite yes for Norway. Actually, definite yes. And definite yes for Norway. Small change. I previously had Estonia as a borderline yes. I'm putting it as a likely yes now. This got a really good reception with the arena in the jury show. So people like really love this. And I do kind of think of that as a little bit of a gauge of casual fans at home, because you do have more casual fans who are going to the shows, in the jury shows, etc. This time went down really well. I think the staging has fixed some of the problems that I felt in the national final. This is still 10th in the qualifier odds, so this does feel like a little bit of a risk to put it up to a likely, but I just feel like this is the type of thing that casuals like, and it's kind of late and it's quite different from everybody else. Really, in terms of other songs like this in this semi, you've got a humor element in Joost, but he hasn't absolutely knocked it out of the park. And then you do have a humor element, and then you do have an ethnic element with Armenia, but it just sounds so different. So I just think this sounds really unique. Yeah, I think that they're going through. I'm still keeping Greece in likely yes, because it's still a little bit divisive and it's quite early in the running order. I'm also keeping Israel in the likely yes as well. I gotta be honest, I don't think that this is within the top 10 best stagings of the semi-final. I think it's quite dated, both the song and the staging. Politics aside, this is just my genuine opinion of it. I think the entire package is quite dated. I don't think it deserves to be in the final. You can't vote against the song, you can only vote for, and I think some people are just going to vote for this regardless. So I'm still putting in as a likely yes. But the fact that, yeah, it's not a particularly wow package, I think that's why I'm not putting it as a definite yes. A little bit of a jig there. I'm also changing my position for Georgia. This used to be a borderline yes. I'm now putting as a likely yes. This is fantastic, so professional, really well sung. I think people will respect this. Also, it's the last of the girly bops, so it gets the last say. Please do vote for this out. Don't take anything for granted. Let's send Georgia to the final for the first time since 2016. It's been so long. They need to be in the final. This would be such a lovely thing for Georgia to have right now. Let's send them to the final. Okay, so next up, Belgium. I previously had this as a likely yes. I'm putting it down to a borderline yes. I know some people are talking about this being a shock qualifier, but I think so many of the fans of Belgium are aware that it's in danger, and they're going to be just giving like 20 votes to Musti. I think some people are quite conscious of strategically voting. Well, your fans in particular are conscious of strategically voting in the semi-final. Like, personally, I wouldn't vote for Joost. Like, I'm definite that the casual fans will send him through. Same with Nemo. Like, I don't think they need any help from your fans. Don't worry, not everybody thinks like this. I know people are going to say, well, if everyone thought like that, these guys wouldn't get any votes. Casuals are going to vote for this en masse. They don't need any Eurovision fan votes, and some Eurovision fans are going to vote for them anyway. But Belgium, I think people are aware that it's in danger. The show is still good, by the way. I don't want people to think that this is terrible. It's just not as good as the promise of the music video gave us expectations. So this is still nice. Like, there's some great stuff in it. The song is still good. The vocals are better. The end is still pretty strong. So yeah, I still think this will make it through, but yeah, it's just out of the running to be a winner, I think, whereas previously it was in that conversation. Oh, let's just move some of these down so we got a little bit more space. Okay, next up, Albania. I'm changing Albania from a likely no to a borderline no. Someone left me a comment making a really great point about how there is a lot of favorable countries for Albania. We've got Greece, we've got Switzerland, we've got Italy. I can't remember the other ones they mentioned, but yeah, they mentioned a lot of countries with diaspora in it. I just don't know, are the diaspora going to come out for this though, because it's not an Albanian. It doesn't have a very strong Albanian feel like some of the previous entries. I remember in my Albania video pointing out how when they sang in Albanian, they qualified pretty successfully, whereas when it's in English, not so much. Could that be the downfall? I don't know if there's a big diaspora buzz about Bessa and her song. I wonder, would they have had a better chance if they kept an Albanian? I think yes, but still a lot of favorable countries for them, so I'm putting it as a borderline no. Who knows, they could call this as one of the shock first qualifiers. That'd be like a real fun way to mix things up in the qualifier announcements. Okay, another country I'm changing is Latvia. I previously had this as a likely no. I'm now putting this as a definite no. I cannot see this going through. It was already one of the weaker songs, and then the staging is so meh. And then the audience poll, it came last in the audience poll with like 11 votes out of 2,500. I just don't see how this gets through. Like, there's definitely going to be some people who see this and like it, but I can't see enough people liking it more than all the other very good, interesting stagings that kind of like are more exciting or have better songs. It's just, I would love if it happened because I want Latvia to break their 6-9 qualification streak, but I would be really shocked. I would guess this is going to come last in the semi-final. Okay, I'm keeping Czechia as a borderline no. Pretty daring, a little bit squashed between France, Sliman and Nemo. Her vocals do sound good though, and the staging is kind of edgy and different, but a little bit early. And we do have some other rocky songs with Norway and San Marino who've kind of upped their game. So yeah, still a possibility, and I would, never underestimate Czechia. I'm changing San Marino from a likely no to a borderline no. Now, if this was what do I want, this would 100% be in. But these, I'm trying to keep it a little bit objective. This isn't a wish list. This is what I think is going to happen. They're going to get 12 points from Spain, which is definitely going to help. I don't think there's any guarantee from Italy, although I would hope that San Marino people are using their Italian phone numbers, because San Marino is on the Italian phone network to vote for themselves. I'm not saying that's I'm not saying that's like a very well-behaved way to do things, but that's technically what diaspora is. Diaspora is you voting for your own country. So why can't San Marino do that too? And San Marino don't have a diaspora, so they don't normally get diaspora points. So yeah, I would like them to sneak through, but my gut's telling me this is going to do better than expected. But that better than expected is 11th or 12th place. Would love it if it went through. I think you're going to enjoy this. It's a really fantastic performance. Okay, I'm also changing Malta from a likely no to a borderline. My borderline no section is very, very busy today. I think this is great. I think it's nuts is still the strongest girly pop, but I think this is the second one for me. Really, really entertaining. I think this is Malta really stepping up their staging game. I'm just wary of last year. I had the same feeling about the busker. I also thought that it was really charming, and that was second in the running order, and it came last. So, I'm just got a little bit of like trauma memory from that. But yeah, I think Malta totally deserves to be in the final. Denmark, also keeping them as a borderline no. I can see a place for this going through. It does kind of feel like the Luna of semi-final number 1, and that is this kind of like safer song in the middle. So, with a lot of craziness going on, could Denmark just be a moment of sanity? The staging's pretty solid. It's not wow, but it's solid enough. Yeah, this can happen, but there's no Sweden here, there's no Finland, there's no Iceland, they've got Estonia, but the best buddies who kind of help them out aren't here. So I think that's probably the main reason I'm hesitant about putting them through. And finally, Austria, I'm putting them as a borderline yes, but honestly, this just doesn't massively work for me. It's not as wow as I was expecting. I was expecting something a little bit more kind of like slow-mo wow. Overall, I think it looks expensive, and the ending is really strong. The first half for me looks very slow. Her choreography is kind of more posy than actual hard-hitting choreography, so just not as impactful as I was expecting. But this seems pretty popular in the community. I wonder, could it be like a bit more of a fan thing? So if you ask me at this point in time, like who could the shock non-qualifiers be? I think it's going to be Austria or Estonia. Well, I'm going by the odds with Estonia. I think it's more likely to be Austria. If we look at the actual odds now, Belgium are 8th, Austria are 9th, and Estonia are 10th. So it's, yeah, I think Austria could be the shock. If you'll see here, I've actually put the top 10 and the odds through. Now, I did that independently, but yeah, I'm going on a kind of robotic, safe way of just trying to look at patterns as opposed to making emotional decisions. If you wanted me to get emotional, I would be putting these two in. I think these are fantastic. And I have a soft spot for Denmark. I want them to break their non-qualification streak. But yeah, San Marino and Malta for me really up their games, and they're small countries who've made a huge effort and bought really, really cool packages. So I wish that was rewarded, but I don't know if it will be. Those 12 points for San Marino from Spain could actually be really, really useful. That's my updated qualification rankings. What do you think? Who are you betting on? Who's going to be the shock? There has to be a shock qualifier. There has to be one. I don't think the odds will ever get 10 out of 10 right. They seem very confident because Estonia's on 71% and then San Marino in 11th are on 32. There's this huge drop in the odds where the bookies seem very, very confident that it's these 10 and not the others. I think we're going to have one surprise. So yeah, that's why I've got so many borderline no's. I feel like we're definitely going to get one of these, maybe two. I hope we do, because we don't want the semi-finals to become so predictable. I don't want people to be able to guess 10s all the time. I want it to be like this big surprise gasp. What's going to happen? Okay, anyway, that's my final 10. What did you think? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Thank you so much to a man for supporting me on PayPal, and also to an anonymous donor on Buy Me Coffee. If you want to support the channel, I'll leave links to you in the description down below. And of course, thank you to all my patrons for patronizing me from all around the world. You can find details about that too in the description. But of course, thank you so much just for watching and maybe leaving a like, maybe sharing the video. And thank you so much for watching. I'm seeing another Eurovision analysis video very soon. Goodbye. Blah, 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 blah.